Good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to personally welcome Madison Heights Mayor, Ms. Rosalind Grafstein. Welcome. Hazel Park Mayor, Michael Webb. Good morning. Michigan Defense Center Representative Mark Ignash. Good morning. So on behalf of Navistar Defense, I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to you all. For those of you who may not be familiar with us, Navistar Defense, we're a leading manufacturer of tactical wheeled vehicles, which you see displayed here on the floor. We've been a very important part of the defense industrial base, providing tactical wheeled vehicles, contract manufacturing, etc. We support many OEMs outside of both the defense and the commercial business space. Since 2003, we've built over 43,000 military tactical and logistics support vehicles. You might recognize one of our most well-known products, the Max Pro vehicle, which is on your right, our left. It's been in service since about 2005, 2006, and saved many American soldiers' lives. We're very proud of that product. And I will say that the U.S. government has gifted close to 400 of those vehicles to the Ukrainians, and they are actively in service right now protecting Ukraine. As mentioned, this facility was established in 2011 as our engineering hub and our procurement hub. The team's been doing a fantastic job. We relocated our headquarters here about 2 years ago, so this is now our world headquarters for Navistar Defense. We're very proud of the support that we've. So right now you're in what we call our prototyping integration facility. 3 weeks ago, this looked a lot different. The team here at Navistar Defense did a great job clearing it out and making it usable for this event. We appreciate that. But 3 months ago, you would have seen a much different level of activity in here. You can see the Atlas vehicle on my right, your left. Imagine that vehicle about twice the size, twice the length. We actually, Phil Wiegand, our Vice President of Engineering here, and his team put together 3 prototype vehicles for the U.S. Army's Common Tactical Truck Program, and it literally was ground up build here in our prototyping facility. We have great support from a very large talent pool here in Southeast Michigan. And Phil and the team have done a great job. Those vehicles are actually in test right now with the Army over at the Aberdeen Proving Ground. So I really appreciate you joining us here today. Special thanks goes out to the Madison Heights and Hazel Park Chamber of Commerce and the Michigan Defense Center for their continued support. And please enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Let's line up here. Good morning, everybody. Hi. I have the privilege of being the CEO of an organization called Oakland Thrive, and we're just so happy to be able to partner with Madison Heights and Hazel Park and the work that we do with small businesses. Just take a minute to let you know what we do. There are 36,000 small businesses in Oakland County, and so we were formed last year to partner with Oakland County to be able to administer small business programs, especially to focus on minority, women, and veteran-owned companies. But we work with all the companies in Oakland County, and particularly in Madison Heights and Hazel Park. You know, small businesses can't thrive on their own and alone, and neither can new nonprofits. And so I reached out to Linda Williams. I didn't realize it had been 13 years since we met here at the grand opening. And so I'm proud to say that Madison Heights Hazel Park Chamber of Commerce was our first partner when we started last year. And that's thanks to the innovation and the partnerships and the passion that this region has for small businesses. So I want to call out my team because I'm a work alone. And Saidi Garcia is here. And so if you have a small business that you want to talk to her about, and how lucky are we that we have Emily Rohrbach. Where's Emily? Emily is a city council person for Madison Heights, and she is on our leadership team. So we've got a great team to serve businesses here. Thank you to the mayors, to Mayor Grafstein and Webb. Thank you for having us, and thank you for partnering with us, and we're really excited to be here and work with all of you. So thank you very much. Have a great morning.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to introduce from the City of Hazel Park, Mayor Michael Webb.
And 2023 was another exciting year for the City of Hazel Park. And we do expect 2024 to be even better. We welcome our new businesses and watch the existing businesses grow. We receive hundreds of thousands of dollars in grants, and we're working to put those funds to use to serve our residents. We have exciting new recreation opportunities, and we are upgrading our community recreation center for the first time in decades. We are working collaboratively with other cities as well as the state of Michigan and Oakland County to improve services and continue to be fiscally responsible with Hazel Park's tax dollars. Hazel Park prides itself for being open for business. In 2023, Hazel Park welcomed Shreds, Craft Salon, Chop Detroit, and the Viking Iceria, United Staffing Agency, and the Flawless Fur Company, among many, many others, to the city. Borg Warner, a leader in the electric battery industry, was acquired Ackersall and brought a visitor from the governor, Gretchen Whitmer, and the county executive, Dave Coulter, to see the amazing technology that they are developing in Hazel Park. That was an event in itself, just to let you know. The batteries that they make there are for the buses and semis and transportation within the hub. And the technology is on a pivot there. It's unbelievable how far they have come. We are also welcoming some exciting news from two businesses that have talked about many times before in the past. Mabel Gray, Maxell Terra. Mabel Gray is home to Hazel Park's own internationally renowned Chef Regato, is expanding his investment in Hazel Park through the construction of its La Cave concept. We are all eagerly awaiting the exciting addition of Mabel Gray's experience. We'll see how the food tastes again. Maxell Terra continues to find ways to make planet Earth cleaner, healthier, and productively through the development of technologies that are safe, clean, green, and previously unseen. This amazing company was cleaning up radiation at the Chernobyl disaster site before the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Hazel Park has utilized their amazing technology to help the city trees thrive, to drain stormwater from our parks. And now they are working on exciting new technologies that will be revolutionizing the agricultural industry. Last year, we highlighted Hazel Park's South End, which has continued to thrive after a road diet we implemented. Eastern Palace and the Smoke Lotus continue to be successful. My Town Market is renovating its interior. Hazel Park Cafe is becoming a popular destination, and we will soon be opening pop-ups Hazel Park at a grant-funded storefront opportunity for new startup businesses in the area. This year, we will try to replicate some of that success on the north end of the community. We will implement a road diet to create a more walkable community that is in the area there to make it more successful. But one of the biggest news stories this year was the sale of the Viking Ice Arena. The Bear Group bought the Viking Ice Arena for $2.9 million. The city had it for a long time, just to reiterate, and we're hoping the privatization of this arena will place the facility on tax rolls, and under the new ownership of proven ice arena managers who will pledge to keep the location operating as an ice arena. We look forward to working with the new owners in the facility to ensure that the new business is successful. We feel the ice arena still got a lot of value in our community. It's just better off being privatized. As we continue to move forward, revitalizing our neighborhoods, Hazel Park has seen an expansion of residential housing construction. The Robinson Brothers recently completed their new 54-unit condo housing project on Woodward Heights in Annabelle. Milford Singer and Corporation has acquired the dilapidated landmark church property and plans for a new 160-unit housing and single-family detached homes and attached homes and apartment options. And vacant rental lots are a high demand in the area as well for developers who are continuing to build new homes across our city. Our administration, led by City Manager Edward Klobuchar, has been amazingly successful when it comes to tapping into the array of public and private grant opportunities. In the past couple of years, Hazel Park plans to be wise with these resources. These grants will provide pension relief, construction, new facilities, plant trees, create additional recreation opportunities, and enhance our city services, which will hopefully improve the quality of life for our Hazel Park residents for years to come. And I think it's ultimately the goal of all of us as community leaders is to enhance our way of living within our community. But for the fourth year in a row, Hazel Park was awarded the highest 5-star rating from the University of Michigan's E-City programs for our business-friendly practices. For more on that, here's a city manager update. Please watch the video.
Hi, I'm Ed Klobuchar, and I've had the distinct honor and privilege of serving as the Hazel Park City Manager for the past 22 years. Hazel Park is well known for its rolling out the proverbial red carpet for new and prospective business owners and for its ongoing partnership with countless other businesses in the community. Recently, those successes and efforts in contributing to our entrepreneurial growth and economic development were recognized by researchers at the University of Michigan. Hazel Park was honored as a 5-star community. The study looked at 5-year changes in property tax values, community assets, and tax rates, which can demonstrate the growth, investments, and cost of doing business in the community. The study aimed to highlight the successes and continued commitment of cities to grow business and support entrepreneurship within their communities. But don't take my word for it. Just listen to what some of our distinguished business owners have to say about what it's like doing business in the city of Hazel Park.
My wife and I have owned Tony's Hardware since 2010, and we've never had like the difficulties that you hear about small businesses dealing with the city. I mean, they couldn't be more supportive, and they believe that your success is the city's success. So whether in 2021 when we did our remodel, I mean, there was nothing that there's never been a problem. Anything you ask of the city, they're there. Whether it's building permits or whatever, they couldn't have been easier to work with. They just it's not lip service when they say that they're easy to work with. They really do back it up. Well, their actions say everything.
Hazel Park supports local businesses by doing social media posts. The city came in and did a video on our store and took pictures and interviewed me. The local promotion from the community is huge with the Hazel Park group rides and such. And between the city promoting it on Facebook and the city park Hazel Park pages and the other process they do, it's just works. It's a good environment.
The city's been great to us. We have amazing customers. The mayor comes in here all the time. A lot of the city hall, they call us saying, Dino, can we help? Can you help us out? So whatever I could do, they've been good to me, to my family, to all of us. So, I love to give back.
Well, we have decided to come to Hazel Park in 2013. I can only say good things about the city, also the location of the city. We have plenty of support. We have excellent contact with the city directly. They provide us with the support to grow our business, so that's a very important thing. And we actually even have the city as a client because our technologies have helped many issues that the city is facing with water management and all those kind of things. So I'm very, very happy to be here.
Well, I remember 5 years ago, my real estate agent called me and said he had a property that he wanted me to see in Hazel Park. We were looking to expand in our business. And I remember thinking, why would I go to Hazel Park? Well, it didn't take long to realize what was the things that were happening here. And from those initial days of our investigation to today, I felt like there's a team of people at the city of Hazel Park that were interested in us being here and just interested in our success. And we saw that from just through the build out. It's an easy build out process and really responsive with the team there to spotlighting our business and marketing and just helping to promote the events that we were having here for our business. So it's not a surprise to me that the city's gotten this 5-star rating.
We are humbled and honored by this recognition. We're also not surprised by it either. It serves to affirm the efforts we have made and continue to make to invite new businesses to Hazel Park and to support our existing business community. We've known for a long time that Hazel Park is a great place to do business, and with empirical data, this important research proves it. If you have questions about Hazel Park or our business community, please feel free to contact me at our city manager's office anytime at 248-546-4060. Thank you, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you for that video from our administration. It speaks a lot to what we've done with our culture in Hazel Park. We made changes years ago, and now they're paying dividends off now. And with that cooperation now, Hazel Park has a team of legislators that work together, a legislative team that works together and assists the Michigan Municipal League's relationships and relief in helping us change those cultures. And also pushes us to make our city stronger. And that's what we're about. That has helped us get to another point of working with those legislative teams throughout the city, the county and the state. It helped us get those pension relief funds in which we all tried for years to bring the efforts through. It brought over $12 million to Hazel Park's MERS pension program, which will hopefully blunt the impact of any future pension contribution increases. And we are also able to achieve some modest replacement and revenue sharing payments as well. But we also have been working with the Madison Heights, Ferndale, and Royal Oak to establish co-responder programs that will also enable trained mental health professionals to respond along with our police officers to incidences that are better handled by the mental health system rather than the criminal justice system. I want to thank Madison Heights City Manager Melissa Marsh for her efforts in organizing our communities and implement this project. And I want to thank Mr. Klobuchar for his work with Oakland County Board of Commissioners and the chairman, Dave Woodward, for all of his hard work to secure this funding with our commissioners for this program. And it's a very important program because we all know and recognize how things have changed. And now we're more aware of the mental health disabilities that people have. And without acknowledging that, we would never be to this point today. Good. We're looking forward to working with Madison Heights and our dedicated state representative, Mike McFall, to push the state of Michigan to secure federal funding to cover our EMS costs by participating in the Federal Ground Emergency Medical Transport Program. The state's refusal to participate in the program is costing cities in Michigan millions of dollars in reimbursements from the government. So let's make our calls to our legislators and let them know that we want our reimbursements back to our communities so we spend our dollars more wisely towards our residents. Hazel Park has received multiple grants from Oakland County for our recreation department, including $300,000 for our recreation center, which is looking great, by the way, and $400,000 for Green Acres Park reconstruction was recently completed on a beautiful brand new playground at Green Acres Park, which will be opening this spring. This is the first serious upgrade to Hazel Park's largest park in over 30 years. And I'd like to pay a little tribute to our late Commissioner, Gary McGilvery. He was very instrumental in helping Hazel Park win these grants and was with County Executive Coulter, Board Chair Woodward, and Oakland County Parks Rec Director Chris Ward. Again, cooperation is key. The city of Hazel Park is also partnering with Hazel Park School District to improve recreation opportunities for our community's young people to jointly fund Junior Vikings sports program has been widely popular with our youth, restoring football and cheerleading programs and helping fund our amazing youth wrestling program, and look for even more sports and recreation opportunities to be added to the near future. Not just for our youth, it's not just for our youth, but it's also for people of all ages. Hazel Park is also on schedule in the pre-construction phase of managing a HUD community-funded federal grant to turn the underutilized pole barn next to our recreation department into a beautiful new community meeting space. This project will add much needed space for community groups and events hosting in our area. And speaking of community groups, we couldn't run our city without the dedicated volunteers. Like many of our communities, we all have volunteers that we all depend on. And I want to thank all the people of Hazel Park who donate their time to make the city a better place. Community groups like the Lions Club, the Eagles, provide very important volunteer resources for our city. Whether you're a member of one of our city service clubs or sit on the city board, commission, coach a youth sport team, plant and water the flowers, or join the flower club, or serve on the police reserves, your contributions to Hazel Park are very important, and we don't want to forget about you. I have to thank our amazing administration and department heads, as well as the hardworking members of our police, fire, public works, water, recreation, and city hall employees serving our residents day in, day out. And that is their mission, is to help our residents. And we appreciate them for all, I mean for all, their hard work. Give them a round of applause. And once again, I'm pleased to work with the great City Council. That includes Alyssa Sullivan, Andy LaCuro, which I've been on board with since 2001. Andy, can you stand up? Luke Londo, another good councilman we've had in recent years. And our newest member, Andrea Washington, would you please stand? Andrea, and like Luke and others, brought a new sense of diversity and change to our board. Maybe Andy and I got a little stale over the years, but I think Andy and I have changed with them and brought forth a new revitalization to our board with the young people on our board. We've done well. We work together well. And I can say we don't argue. We do sometimes, but we are like a family, I should say, like a big family of board that we debate in friendly conversation. Unlike some other councils and mayors in other cities, I think we have a great collaboration. And I want to thank my board for everything they've helped me through over the years. I also want to, get to the other part where we work well together and count staff and so on and so on. We all know there's great people out there. But Hazel Park's also the best place to live, work, raise a family. And, that's really what we're about. And I found a quote recently that really, I think, sums up where the city is. It says, "The future is not something we enter. The future is something that we create." And that's why I'm standing here today to say to you all that the city of Hazel Park is strong and we're not going anywhere. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm Mayor Rosalind Brownstein. I want to welcome you to Madison Heights. And thank you all for joining us here this morning as we discuss the successes and future of our two great cities. I would like to extend a special thank you to Navistar for hosting us and to Linda Williams, the director of our Madison Heights Hazel Park Chamber, for putting this all together. I also want to express my gratitude to my fellow Madison Heights City Council members and my appreciation to our city manager and our city staff for their continuous efforts, enthusiasm, and commitment to providing excellent services to our businesses and for their critical contributions to our quality of life for our residents. Most importantly, I want to thank our residents and the dedicated business owners who chose to locate their businesses in Madison Heights, and everyone who shops locally and supports them. They are the backbone of our community, and their contributions have led to the successes we are sharing today. I am happy to report that the state of the city is strong. We understand that investing in our community and working with residents and businesses are the key to our long-term sustainability and success. With this in mind, we are taking the time to make much-needed changes to update our zoning ordinance to make it more user-friendly and include features to continue to make Madison Heights attractive for investment and development. As an economist, I also understand the importance of diversification. The Madison Heights community is diverse with residents and businesses representing a variety of religions, cultures, and histories. Many of our residents and business owners are immigrants who came to America with dreams of a better life. For some, that meant a better education or business opportunities. For others, it meant somewhere safe as they were fleeing war or persecution. And I stand before you as someone whose own journey is proof that Madison Heights is a community that reflects the city's history of diversity and immigration. I never dreamed 20 years ago when I moved from Canada to Madison Heights that not only would I grow to love the community, but that I would participate as one of our leaders, helping to bring forth positive growth and prosperity. And I'm honored to say that today on International Women's Day. For me, my American dream started in 2004 when I moved from Toronto and was married by the late Ed Swanson in what is now the lunchroom of our Active Adult Center. At its core, the American dream and our American values for all our citizens means freedom in a safe and secure place for everyone, regardless of background or social status. For many, Madison Heights is the American dream. We have families who came here for a better quality of life, better education for their children, more parks to walk in and play in, safety and security. In the last year, Madison Heights has completed unprecedented capital improvements, including upgrades to our public facilities, parks, and public safety infrastructure. These long-term investments have been guided by our vision for the future through our strategic planning process. As well, through a lot of research, hard work, and effort, we have been the fortunate recipient of many grant programs and partnerships that will pay dividends for years to come. These initiatives have further strengthened our ability to provide excellent services to everyone who works, lives, or visits Madison Heights now and in the future. In the coming weeks, we are kicking off a partnership with Habitat for Humanity of Oakland County with the Rock the Block program to bring nearly $1 million in investments to our homeowners. Through this initiative, volunteers will help with repairs aimed at enhancing residents' health and well-being. This includes fixing drafty windows and leaky roofs, which can contribute to chronic illnesses, as well as some spring cleanup. As a key player in the area related to all levels of housing options and housing affordability, and to keep this programming sustainable past initial funding, they are seeking corporate partners in Madison Heights. This is a great way for corporate partners to actively engage with our local community, and it fosters a sense of pride and connection among employees as they work together for a common cause. It's another essential part of the American dream: security, safety, and community, both at home and at work. Next year, Madison Heights will be 70 years old, and there have been a lot of changes here in the last 7 decades. But through it all, in true American tradition, Madison Heights remains a place where community matters. Our local businesses are the lifeblood of our community, providing jobs and services that contribute to the vitality of our city. And we are proud of the variety of businesses and industries within our growing community. Examples of some of the new and fun businesses that joined our community in 2023 include the family-friendly Dino Land, industry leaders like the electric car company Rivian, and unique treats like Feel Good Cookies. In addition to these new arrivals, hometown favorites continue to grow and expand. Last year, Selena's Bar and Grill completed their new patio expansion, and Natalie's Bakery moved into its new location, expanding its bakery operations. Looking at the big picture, 2023 brought significant growth in residential and commercial development, demonstrating our commitment to creating opportunities for everyone. This past year's construction season was returned to norm for development in our community. The Community Development Department approved $16 million in new construction value, bringing the total construction value still ongoing to over $30 million. Most notable in 2023 was the completion of $11 million in construction value by businesses and developers, nearly 10 times the amount recorded in 2022. All of this suggests that certain projects previously delayed by supply chain challenges and inflation finally made it across the finish line. We also focused on reinvestment in our neighborhoods, enhancing the quality of life for our residents with similar trends in growth for residential construction and reinvestment in our neighborhoods as we did for commercial and industrial development growth. Our building department processed almost 600 building permits, marking a notable increase from the previous year, with completed construction value reaching $4.6 million, nearly 5 times the amount recorded in 2022. And with over 130 units, Red Run Reserve for those age 55 and older had their grand opening in 2023, and we still have $2.7 million of projects underway. We also significantly increased our reinvestment in neighborhoods when we were awarded the maximum grant of $75,000 from the Michigan State Housing Development Authority's Neighborhood Enhancement Grant Program. This funding allowed us to complete 16 minor home repair projects across our neighborhoods. Seeing consistent reinvestment in our neighborhoods is a testament to this unity and commitment to our collective prosperity. Quality of life continues to be a priority for us. In 2018, I rebooted our Environmental Citizens Committee with an eye to bringing back our tree canopy and other environmental initiatives. It has taken a lot of time, money, volunteers, grants, and corporate partners, but over the past 4 years, we have invested heavily in our tree canopy throughout the city, and it has paid off as we are now a silver level member of the Michigan Green Community. The designation as a tree city in 2020 motivated us to make planting trees an annual priority, with 546 trees planted in the last 5 years. Our focus areas include neighborhoods in the John R. Corridor, helping make them more walkable and business friendly. These projects, along with park improvements and a more robust calendar of events, reflect our dedication to improving the quality of life in Madison Heights. 2023 also saw the start of a new streetscaping plan for the 11 Mile and John R. areas to be more pedestrian friendly. I can't wait to see this area transform in the upcoming years, and I invite you all to come to visit our downtown in a few months for our Memorial Day Parade. Last year, for the first time since 2019, we hosted our annual Memorial Day Parade, and I do ask anyone who is interested in participating in the parade to reach out to me for more information. We would love to have one of the tanks in the parade. As we talk about the American dream, it's important to remember that the price of freedom is not free, and the true meaning of Memorial Day, the reason for the parade, is to honor those who lost their lives so that we can be free. Security, safety, and the freedom to pursue the American dream. While council, staff, and outside sponsors are responsible for much of what goes on in Madison Heights, we also have a community of volunteers who help get things done. From private charities like our food pantry, which was established at the start of the pandemic, to our many boards and commissions, it's the people that make the difference. 2 family fun events that Mark Bliss and our Volunteer Arts Board created are the Trail Tubes Musical Festival and the Trail of Treats Fall Costume Event. These events are run by volunteers and paid for by private sponsorships. Last year, they introduced the first annual Adults Only Gala honoring resident artist Jennifer Ramirez. The theme was elements, with residents and staff joining in with flashy and sparkly outfits to show our spirit. And we can expect more outdoor family fun events in the future. Thanks to a $250,000 grant from Consumers Energy, we will be building a band shell at Civic Park. The goal is to have it up and running for our pre-4th of July festivities. It may even be ready for Juneteenth. In 2021, Madison Heights residents Kalila and Kevin Wright worked with our Human Relations and Equity Board to host the first Juneteenth in the city. The Wrights have since formed Madison Heights Citizens United, a nonprofit organization that has taken on the responsibility of annually hosting Juneteenth at our Civic Park. And Citizens United has fast become part of our community. But they do more than just Juneteenth, and their goal is to promote racial reconciliation. Safety, security, community, freedom, regardless of race. Again, all part of the American dream. In 2018, a year after I was elected to council, and about a month after we appointed Melissa Marsh to be our city manager, she and I were in the library parking lot talking about some of the issues at our active adult center. I looked over to the empty spot between the library and City Hall and asked, why not just sell the property and build a new center here? Fast forward 5 years, a global pandemic, many meetings with many public votes, a total of 12 different council members, a year and a half of construction, and $14.2 million later. And in the fall, we had our final grand opening and ribbon cutting, one that brought my mother in from Canada to help celebrate. Ultimately, this project has not only helped to increase participation in programming, but is also decreasing our energy footprint. But I'm jumping ahead. There are a lot of things that we accomplished in 2023 to get us to that point. In late 2022, we closed our library for renovations. A few months later in May, we had our grand reopening where we also honored the late Bob Corbett with a dedication to the Bob Corbett Youth Room. And while not part of our expensive renovation project, on a rainy day in June, we honored the late Bob Gettings by naming a pavilion in Monroe Park in his honor. And on another side note, on a beautiful August day surrounded by family, county officials, and others, we gathered to honor County Commissioner Gary McGilvery and to unveil the plaque at the newly named McGilvery Park, located at 12 Mile and Sherry. I am so glad that Gary was able to enjoy this tribute with his wife and family, as in the fall, just a few weeks apart, we lost both Gary and Diane McGilvery. McGilvery Park serves as a reminder of Gary's support and legacy. Keeping with our American Dream theme, in July, after Fire Station 2 renovations were completed, we were honored to be a part of Jack's Walk, when Jack Huffman took 2 months to walk from Florida to Rochester, Michigan to raise awareness and money for the Fallen and Wounded Soldiers Fund. I caught up with him when he crossed into Oakland County on 11 Mile and was able to present him with a giant check representing over $1,200 to the fund. That was money that was donated by our generous businesses. In true community spirit, the crew at Fire Station 2 entertained the local daycare and other children while they waited for us to arrive. News cameras, a giant check, dozens of well-wishers, all to honor those who made it possible to live the American dream. In August, after being closed for renovations, we held the grand reopening of the fire station. I invited retired firefighters to help cut the ribbon, and I stand by what I said that the renovation solidifies the city's commitment to the safety of all that live, work, or visit Madison Heights. Because without strong public safety services, nothing else really matters. And standing here in a business dedicated to the defense of our country, I know that you, more than others, understand the importance of security and public safety. Be it of our country or our city, everyone has the right to feel safe and secure. 5 years ago, when I suggested we build in between the library and City Hall, it wasn't just to provide our seniors with a new, bigger, more modern building with extra amenities. Now they are just across the parking lot from our first responders. And I would be remiss if I didn't introduce our new Police Chief, Brent Lemerise, and our new Deputy Chief, Jeff Filzek. Gentlemen, stand for a moment. And that, folks, concludes the state of our city and how our old council chambers where I was buried became a lunchroom, and why in September my mom came down from Toronto to be with us for the final ribbon cutting of the largest municipal project in our city's history. And now that that project is complete, I'm excited about the future of our community, so stay tuned to see what else we've got going on here. Thank you again for joining us all.
My name is Mark Ignash, Acting Executive Director of the Michigan Defense Center at the MEDC, and on behalf of the MEDC, State of Michigan, and the Executive Office of the Governor, pleasure to be here and thank you for your attendance and for being here in support of this fantastic city's event. And if you'll notice, I always want to do a disclaimer, I was over here taking photos. So I have an 8-year-old son now that he's of the age and he wants to know when I leave the house, what am I actually doing? Where am I going? So I bring back photos that tell him this is what Dad's doing, here's what we're up to, and then also here's a plethora of careers that we're going to help you understand. So that's what that was about when I'm over there doing my paparazzi. So that being said, let's get into this here. So I was asked really to give a few highlights of what we're looking at for growth sectors in defense, and I say sectors plural because it's more than one thing. And the video was also a mechanism to help reduce my time down, because that was at least 10 minutes of me sharing the stats in a much less interesting way. So the Michigan Defense Center, so what we operate as the state's lead voice for aerospace defense from the lens of economic development, industry, assets, etc. So we promote the assets locally, nationally, and internationally. We promote growth of industry missions in the defense community. I want to really pause on community. And on defense community, thank, again, Navistar Defense, because a key member of that community that, as I understand it, double time to clear this room and create this a fantastic venue. So again, Navistar Defense, thank you for that. Our defense community. And ultimately, something that day in and day out, when I wake up and our team wakes up and the MEDC in general wakes up to thinking is, how do we drive the investment in the state through the lens in which I operate? It's through federal funding, defense capture, DHS capture, and everything in between. How do we improve our capture of that investment in the state and our industrial base? So let's dive into the meat of this. So Michigan, and I've got keywords here, I'm just checking because I have a timer because I am known to keep on going, I don't want to do it too. So Michigan, a nexus of capability and innovation, and words chosen very specifically and why. So when I'm traveling, whether locally, nationally, internationally, I defy folks to name a challenge that the state of Michigan cannot meet. Now, does that mean immediately we can turn over and we can produce whatever we need? Probably not, but given the right understanding, time frame, and understanding of capability, I defy folks to find something that the state of Michigan cannot meet challenge of. So we have capability now. If we don't have it, we'll innovate and we'll do it. And that's what I want to talk about today in terms of what we see, what are we doing, and what are we seeing where we're going, and what are those opportunities. So as we look at Michigan's defense opportunity, and we look to align with the governor's key strategy of Make It Michigan, which is phenomenally aligned with our defense strategy in the state, what do we think of? So consider our industrial base overall, right? So most people, okay, so you also have a cheat sheet, right? So if you're thinking about the industrial base, and obviously you've got some hints here, but if you think about the industrial base, both in the state and from outside, folks may see or have a perception. So think about now, considering taking the funnel down to what do you think of defense in the state of Michigan. And again, you have a cheat sheet here, so if you fail this one on the test, I don't know how to help you because you're literally being surrounded and stared down by the defense industry here today. So think about the defense industry. What do we think of? What do our peers, what does the world think of when they think of the defense industry in Michigan? So let's talk about that. So the defense opportunity, what do we see? So advanced manufacturing, absolutely. We look at engineering, design, development. You better believe it, it's happening here. We heard this morning. It's happening in this bay. Typically, there's a truck, there's vehicles, they're working here, right? They're doing these things. Now, I buried the lead a bit on this one, but if you're not thinking land systems, ground mobility, absolutely 100%, you need to be, again, that's on the test, and if you're not thinking that, these vehicles will start up, they may start rolling. So let's make sure we can keep the land systems, ground mobility piece square and center. Are you thinking of semiconductors? Automotive has been a lot, I can tell you, such as DoD and defense. It's just in a different way. Have you been thinking of cybersecurity, how these platforms communicate, how we secure that, how we make sure that when our soldiers are out there, they have the right technologies and platforms and in the industry to support the cybersecurity of these platforms? Are you thinking of aerospace? We have near 1,000 aerospace suppliers at the state, in addition to the 4,000 that we've got supporting day in and day out across the spectrum. And are you thinking aerospace in terms of traditional aviation, the things that we're used to flying in? Are you thinking of advanced aerial, drones, uncrewed, things that don't have a person in them, but they are operational? Are you thinking of space, propulsion, the commercial market now that is blossoming? How are we looking at that? I can tell you we're looking at all three verticals. Are you thinking maritime? I certainly am trying to figure out how we utilize more of the lakes that surround us for the purposes of Navy testing, and Coast Guard, and our industrial base. How can we diversify? And then I've got the last, and are you thinking of something else? Because you probably are. I can't fit it all because it would be a massive chart. But the capabilities that we've got in the state, the opportunity is truly, it's and more, and there's something else, and there's more we can do. But what I want to press is, these are all areas in which right now there's opportunity, active opportunity, both externally and internally driven. So let's look at that through the lens of National Defense Industrial Strategy. Michigan's well aligned with that. What's it calling for? More innovation, new entrants to the market, quicker technology into the hands of soldiers, critical supply chains and reshoring, Again, it's not news, but we've got to figure out how we do more of this in the U.S. better, and I submit in Michigan better. How do we do more of that here? Because again, capability innovation, our supply chain can do these things. We can do these things. We have to get the opportunity in front. One of the reasons why we are here today just discussing this. Looking at it through non-traditional engagement, what does that mean? It's been often viewed, and if you go 5 years, 10 years back, you've got to be in some club to be a defense supplier, and if not in it, best of luck. And I can tell you that path exists in some places. And I can tell you 10 years ago, it was a lot harder. We're realizing, DoD realizing, we need folks that have not engaged with DoD to engage. We need new entrants. We need industry that's not ever been a part of this to be a part of this. And then it's incumbent upon us collectively to help make that happen and bring those folks to the table in a way that's actually of benefit to both sides and does not drag this process out for all too long. And the need for industrial diversification, a word I touched on before. We are a very diversified statewide economy. We cover multiple sectors, and defense, I submit, touches all of them, which is why when I talk about our defense opportunity, the defense sector, it's not one thing, it's all of the things. Because ultimately what we're doing here commercially is also being done somewhere, somehow for DoD. And if it's not, we need to be right. So it's truly all of these seemingly disparate sectors tied into this is our defense opportunity. And all of these areas I've listed are active, and there's different avenues which we want to help connect our industrial base into. One of the reasons why I'm here today and in partnership with the Chamber and others to make sure we're getting the message out. I can't dig into it obviously all in my 10 minutes here, but I want to give enough primers so we have something to follow up on. Then ultimately, with the understanding that pathways to DoD funding is evolving and new paths are emerging, it is interesting and sometimes be frustrating, quite frankly, at how many different avenues are springing up for industry to engage in and where we're trying to find innovative technology to get in the hands of DoD. But it is evolving, it's changing. There are more avenues now than ever. While that can be a challenge, that is a benefit. Let's help our industry connect to those opportunities. There are different pathways now, again, than there ever were, and seemingly more to come. Yes, some are sunsetting, but there are plenty more coming as they come to us again to help make those connections in the industry, these opportunities. And then lastly, I want to touch on, this is the key point here with the stakeholders we have in this room, is the ability and encouragement to leverage strategic partners, initiatives, tools, resources that are designed to help you, industry, succeed. Work with Linda at the Chamber. Work with Vicki Sullivan and her team at the county level. Work with the state. All of these partners have the relationships designed to help us succeed. We're not in this room by happenstance. That was with a lot of hard work from Linda and her team. And ultimately, Navistar saying, yes, we want to embrace the community. If you try to walk up here and you had 200 people just come in, it's not going to happen, right? So there's a community here that wants to help you succeed, and that's what we're here to stand up to do. So work with your local resources, work with your county and regional resources. Reach out to me. My email address is on the first slide. I'll be here. I'm glad to give you my contact information. The mission here is to connect industry into where we see the puck to be going and getting ahead of that. And in all of these areas and more, that opportunity exists. So on that note, and again, not to take much more of your time, I know I'm at the tail end here, but there are significant opportunities, not in the areas that you probably think and perceive to be the only areas, and you have allies to help you succeed in these areas. So utilize us, call us, work with us, and just know we stand ready to help you all make it Michigan. On that note, thank you and appreciate it.
Even with all the technical difficulties, we are actually on time. In fact, we're a minute early. So, Mark, you didn't have to rush through that. So, how about a final round of applause for all of our presenters today, including our Mayor Mike Webb and Mayor Rosalind Rafstein. As many of you know, I've had the privilege of working for both communities, right? Starting with City of Hazel Park and then with City of Madison. So, plus or minus 25 years, right? So I've been blessed to stand on both sides and be part of this annual event for the state with the city leaders over the years. And we certainly had our ups and downs, right? The recession in the late 90s, right? We don't want to remember that. The Y2K, some of you might be old enough to remember that. The big flood, and of course the pandemic, right? But we had many ups too, right? We had some of the record number of economic development activities and many, many, many accomplishments with the cities. But there's one constant, one thing that's been consistent with all of our state of the cities. What's that? It's the message of hope, right? Renewed energy at the end of the speeches. It really doesn't matter if our mayor said Armageddon was going to hit us next year, or we had the threat of zombies even attacking. Of course, Navistar could take care of that for us, right? So this year is no different, right? We have hope, we have this renewed energy. So I'm inspired today by all of our members, our city leaders, future members, our partners that came out to join us today. I'm thankful for our gracious host, Navistar. Navistar Defense, I'm sorry. That's the best part of working with defense. I like their pace, very efficient. We're grateful for all the hard work and dedication of our volunteers to get ready for today. This didn't happen magically, as you know. We had a lot of volunteers, even 2 days prior, and even the Navistar team to get ready for today. Thankful to Tony, the man behind the camera here from One Vision Video. He donated his service, he's a chamber member as well, to really take this state of the city to another level for us. So thank you, Tony. I know I said this before, but I certainly can't say it enough. Thank you to our partners, our City of Hazel Park and City of Madison Heights city leaders for supporting us all these years. My home sweet home. But most of all, I'm thankful that we can all come together today, right? To celebrate our many accomplishments from the year past. And what, most important though, what are we going to do to work together in the future, right? And it doesn't matter what comes our way, right? We're going to work together.